Thank you so much, our viewers, for coming back. My name is Lucy Wanjohi, and I'm so excited once again that you created time to come back. We don't take your opportunity, your chance for granted. We take every moment, every chance to thank God. And today, we want to discuss about something that is on the air. You know, this is a month of love. And I have been around and I looked for someone who is more knowledgeable and somebody with a lot of passion concerning marriages. And that is Reverend Jacinta Kiugi. She is here with us. We are so excited, Reverend, that you came. And tumefurahia sana. Continue following us. And thank you so much for the new subscribers. We are so excited that the world is growing. Msituachilie tuanguke. Keep following us and also keep checking the new contents. We don't just create time to come speak nothing. We create time to bring knowledge and new stuff that you people can go through them, and you can be assured that it is something nice. So we want to talk about love, because this is a month of love. And when you talk about love, you know, it is a simple word, but it is a word which is very powerful. A word, love, the word love, you know, it can be used to heal, it can be used to transform, and also to build. We've seen so many people that have been wounded out of love. We've seen so many people who have grown and they are happy in their marriages and in their relationships just because they found someone who they can connect together. We want to see what are the wrongs that maybe are happening in this world, because there are so many negativities. I have heard people say that marriage is not for everyone, love is not for everyone. And now we want to dig deep with Reverend and find out, is it just an emotion? Is it just something like that? Or is it something deeper? So that is why we brought Reverend Jacinta Kiugi. We are so excited, Rev. Karibu sana. So this is Lucy Wanjohi's channel. Sikia ukiwa karibu sana. We are so excited to have you. And now that we are happy that you came, we want you, before you introduce yourself, you pray for us. Because we respect the caller.
Thank you very much.
And also the anointing and the favor. And also that you accepted to come. So you pray for us, and then you introduce yourself, and then there we are talking about love.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lucy.
Yeah.
I ask that we start with a word of prayer.
Yeah.
Let us pray. We thank you, mighty God, for this afternoon. Thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you for your love, and even granting us an opportunity to come here and discuss much more about this gift of love that you've given unto us as humanity. Be together with us from the start to the end. This we ask in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rev.
Yes.
Karibu sana to the
Asante.
show.
Asante.
Introduce yourself. I know you are a reverend. That one I know for sure. I know you are a wife and a mother to many, including me. You know. So introduce yourself and tell us where you come from and what am I saying? Is it true? Unajua naweza sema you are a mother uniambie wewe. You are a wife uniambie wewe. So karibu sana. Introduce yourself.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I want to introduce myself in a very brief way, because Lucy actually has said so much about who I am. But of course, I would want to confirm that, as she says, I am Jacinta Kiugi. I am born again. I am a Presbyterian minister and currently serving at the Presbyterian University of East Africa as the university chaplain. I am married to one Reverend Kiugi Aporo, and together we have a daughter called Jerry, and recently God blessed us with 3 more children. Therefore, we now have a family of 4, and we are so grateful to God because of what He has been doing in our lives. We've been married for 15 years.
Oh.
This is our 16th year.
Okay.
And we dated for like 3 years. Therefore, that must be a good number of years for me to talk about this gift of love. I think that's much about me.
Yeah.
Anything
What else? No.
Yes.
We know you.
Now.
If you remember something that you feel we need to know, please don't forget to tell us. So, Rev, karibu sana to the show.
Asante.
And now because this is a month of love, we know that, I don't know whether things are okay, because we are experiencing so many divorces, we are experiencing so many separations, and today we started a day with a woman who killed 3 kids, and she also committed suicide, and in the name of marriage. So give us a picture of how a beautiful marriage looks like, and a happy family looks like, and if there are things that we are doing right, and where are we going wrong, because we've seen it is not, we cannot say things are okay, and now something else is that people are coming together in marriage, the two of them are in love, and we are experiencing family, having a very colorful wedding, and they are, instead of a happy thereafter, we are hearing so many things which are not good. So drew a picture of how a beautiful marriage looks like, and also, and where are we going wrong? Nini tulikuwa tunafanya, and then we stop. Or, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you. Maybe I would attempt to respond to that and say that the gift of love is given by God. It's a natural thing. It's not something that we would say we build. No, it's something given by God. Our own responsibility is to work on it. And therefore, when we find people getting into relationships and love and marriage, then we know that we are still following the nature of the natural things that God has created. And as you've mentioned, it is very true that of course we are really struggling. We are living in very dangerous times. And actually most of the young people are wondering whether they should get married or not, because that's why some of them are saying, well, love is a scam, marriage is a scam, because of the things they are seeing, and especially giving the example, the most recent example that you've just given. Is a lot of heartbreaks, is a lot of disappointment, frustrations in relationships. I am not sure whether I will be able to give a nice color of a beautiful marriage, but one thing I know is that since it was given by God, then it should be there for us to enjoy, because everything that God created, we found it good, and therefore these two should be good for us. The challenge comes in when we are not able to understand the way of God, and the way God has created human beings, and especially when the way God has created a male and a female, because from there we can draw the attention, or we can draw the identity of married person, be it a male and a female. It can only be drawn from the image of God. Because when God created right from the beginning, and he created Adam and Eve, all we see is the excitement of these two people, and especially from Adam. He's so excited to see this beautiful girl, and he even names her. Simply because love is a gift and it is beautiful. And those of us who have ever been loved, we know how it feels. It is a nice thing. And especially as you're saying, during the weddings, people are ever on top of things, and people look at you and they wonder, what to kosania wapi? Because it looks very beautiful. And that is the truth. Marriage, love is beautiful. Every human being, within us, we have a very special place and a gap of connectedness that is in every human being. And that is what we go for. That is what God created in us. That is what yearns for the opposite sex. That is what yearns for that love. The rest of the things like sex are just vices. But it's always that connection, that desire to belong to someone, that belong to love each other and hold on to each other, is a natural thing. The challenge comes in if we are not able to maintain that connectedness. Because this love that we are calling, the thing that we call love is a feeling. And feelings fluctuate. It's a normal thing. Feelings, they fluctuate. Today you could be very happy, in the morning you're happy, in the evening you're not happy. So you cannot define marriage by love, because love is a feeling. It's a feeling like you'll be feeling pain, and the next time you're okay. So love cannot be defined marriage cannot be fully defined on terms of the feeling, but the commitment. Yes, that's why we always, even when we are married people, we take them through vows, because marriage can only be maintained in a committed relationship. Because, like we are saying, if I loved you yesterday, and that's why I got married, and today I don't feel like I love you, it doesn't mean I go.
It doesn't
mean I get an affair. It doesn't mean I frustrate you. It doesn't mean I hurt you. Because the commitment to keep loving you is what keeps every marriage. So for me, I would say a beautiful marriage, a beautiful home is where there is commitment to love you as you are. As you are. Because within me, I am cognizant that you need me, and within you, you are cognizant that I need you. So that commitment to know that we need each other is what keeps a marriage going. Otherwise, there's no marriage that people would stand and say, we have loved each other from the beginning to the end. There are bad days. No, there are days when we cry, there are days when we don't want to see each other, there are days when we feel like, who you need to happy, you know?
Yeah.
There are such days, but the commitment to do life together is what keeps a marriage happy. That commitment that even if tumekosana, so we are here to stay.
Yeah,
we are here to do this thing.
Even if today I'm feeling
Sikutaki.
I still follow the commitment.
Yeah.
The reason as to why we are together.
Yes.
Rev, I'm left to wonder because you've seen that, of course, love brought the two together. What happens when people get into marriage? You don't want to see your spouse. People are sleeping in separate bedrooms. I've also witnessed a husband coming from a different room and the wife coming from the other. Now maybe you have kids. You're meeting in the dining room for the sake of the children. What happens when people get married? What changes?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's, I would write on what I've just said. Marriage cannot be sustained on emotions.
Yeah.
Because normal human beings, we have emotions, but emotions fluctuate every other time.
Yeah.
Therefore, if it was built on emotions, there is that possibility of feeling like I don't love you. But it's nothing like that. That's why I always say, even there are no people who divorce, neither people separate.
Yeah.
No, people just disagree. And if you mistake that disagreement to be hatred, to be a moment to part, can be very dangerous. I would say what really happens is that a failure to have that awareness that I am a human being who is a work in progress. I have my own weaknesses, I have my own strength, and when we come together, I am not expecting you to change to become like me, and neither are you expecting me to, because we will never. I am as unique as I am. So that I think for me what happens are the expectations that people come with in marriage, forgetting that you're dealing with a human being. Because a human being is prone to making mistakes, is prone to waking up one day and they don't feel like talking. So if you start putting those as the measurements of, or the parameters of measuring the commitment, you will find at some point you don't want that person. So for me, I would say what really happens is people don't want to work for marriage, because marriage has to be worked on. It's not something you just press at in a go. No, it's something I purpose. I want to love this guy. I have to love him every day. Even in his weaknesses, my main assignment is to make him become the best of his version, not my version, the best of his version. So my only thing that I can be is to support, connect him, love him as he is, because I am the only person who will love, like for me, my husband, the way he is. In other places he might, mask, he will try to pretend, but at home he has to be himself, the original him. So I have to give him a space to be vulnerable, to just be who he is. So my inability to allow him to be who he is makes people struggle. You feel you're straining because someone is trying to change you, trying to change your family. Someone is saying, familia yenu inafanyanga, sijui familia wa, sijui wewe unafanyanga mambo namna hii. There's nothing as painful in marriage as someone trying to change you. Yeah, because the moment you struggle with that, you feel, I don't need you. Because I was looking for a complimenter. Yes. I needed someone to just help me become the better version of me.
Yeah. The question that is coming in,
Yeah.
what turns a marriage to become sour? Because we've seen people are staying because of children, or maybe you wedded in church, don't want to leave, and something else is that a woman can stay because of the kids. You know, a husband cannot. He will pretend to be there, but he's somewhere else. And also we've seen the issues of infidelity. And now that you said you ought to love your spouse, at what level should you go in case of something like infidelity or a marriage turning sour? What causes such issues? Because I've seen people saying they cannot forgive, maybe just because the husband was not faithful, or the other way around. And now you're staying because of the children. Would you advise in such a level? Because I know you are a counselor, and now with the experience of being married and also being ordained, you know, there are so many things that you know. What can you say in such a case? A marriage that is in such a situation right now, a woman just found out that the husband is cheating, or somebody else is not faithful in the marriage. What can you say about that issue?
Okay, I think from my perspective as a chaplain, I believe that marriage is like that's where I started. Love is a gift from God, and I think that's the perspective for me. I know that marriage is a gift from God because love is a gift from God. Therefore, God is a covenant God, and marriage is built on a covenant. If you think of how God is able to accommodate me, Jacinta, as a minister, who has so many weaknesses, who has so many faulty, you know, but he still loves me. And imagine he still loves me, he still values me, and still allows me to raise hands on people. Imagine, just as I am. I look at marriage in the same way, and I pray that God will keep teaching us as human beings to know that marriage is a covenant. In a covenant, the issue is loving each other to death.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Not infidelity.
Nothing.
Till death.
Because if I sin and God forgives me, what would make me not forgive Kilby? Why would I not? What guts? Where would I even get the energy to say, oh, I won't forgive you? And I'm expecting that even I, when I miss the mark, I want to be forgiven. Because there's nowhere you would justify infidelity. And that's why people are killing each other. Because we tending to think there's an alternative to marriage. There's no alternative. Once you decide you want to love this woman, you want to love this man, is working. You decide I want to work on this. And the moment you work on it, the law of nature takes place. The seeds that you plant, you harvest. So the more you love your spouse, the better it becomes, because they feel accommodated, they feel loved, they feel connected, they feel they belong.
They also want to plant.
Yeah, they also want to give back, because it's the law of nature. Yeah, because it has been given, they also want to give. They will not also become a thorn for you. Yes, but the moment you try to become a thorn to the other person, of course it becomes a thorn to the other person. So for me, I would say there's no room for living marriage.
What about rape? The situations where you've seen red flags. There are threats in the marriage. A husband is telling you that I'll kill you one day. You're being threatened with weapons, with pangas and stuff like that. Would you still choose to stay in such a marriage?
Yes, thank you, Lucy. I know that's a very common question in most cases of marriage. And we already say, at that point, take a break. Not leaving. Take a break. Because it tells you that person has been pushed to the corner. Every time you see a spouse, you imagine like the way we loved each other before we got married. We would meet for hours, a whole day. The story has
And then you're wondering,
you know,
why
tumefika hapa ati unaniambia utaniua. Anytime you find a couple struggling to that level, kuna mtu anasukuma mwingine to limits. Is someone who is pushing the other one to the limits. And the other person feels unaccommodated. They want to fight back. They want to fight their space. So maybe at times, depending on the person and the way we respond differently to issues. So someone may think, I'll kill you. I will beat you. I've seen people spank. I
know.
don't like that.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I hate so much. You get to hear about it,
Mhm.
that you would wake up one day and hit on your wife and hit on your husband. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But when we get to that position, take a break, breathe in and out.
Mhm.
You can take a break that is dependent on the case.
Mhm.
So it can be a 1 week, a 1 month, a 1 year break as you try to regain back the youth. Because human beings are very natural. A human being, you can't manipulate them.
Yeah.
If I want to feel, we all come from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
If I want you to love me this way, I'll keep insisting I want to be loved that way because that's the gap within me.
Yeah.
If you love to be loved, that's why the other day we were talking about love me the way I want to be loved, because that is what brought me to you. So don't love me the way you think. So for me, I would say, whenever we get to that point, please take a break and breathe in and out. Take time to reflect. Where have I messed? Where have we messed as a couple?
Yeah.
Because there's just no way people who loved each other and now they are calling each other names.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah, thank you, Ray.
Yeah.
I'm liking the way you're answering these questions with lots of wisdom. And now the question that is coming along is, how can you spice up such a marriage that people have threatened each other? They have been the issue of silent treatment. We've seen people spending even a month, 2 months without talking to each other, and yet you're married. How can you do to spice that marriage and also to bring new steps, retrieving your steps back to where you came from, and now just believing that maybe you came together for the sake of staying together and supporting each other, and now staying in marriage till death. And now, if a marriage has gone sour, cold, how do you spice such a marriage? Yes.
Thank you. I would say this, Lucy. There is no perfect marriage, not even one.
Even yours?
Even mine.
I like that.
It's just no perfect. Until 100% no. It is intentionality that keeps us in marriage. Therefore, if there are times when you go cold, what do you do even in a normal house like this? And if it goes cold,
You won't.
you vomit. And of course there must be, you can't vomit by saying, I am warming. No. You must wear clothes. If you need to wear more, you either lit some firewood, or do some jiko, or the heater. There must be some work to be done to bring in what you want. So if, for example, because in every couple, there is always a conversation. So if it is cold, you hear one of the spouses say, he doesn't find time for me. So create that time. You just warm. He doesn't find time for me. He doesn't tell me. What does it cost you to tell someone I love you? Just say it, even when you don't mean it. Just say it. If your spouse wants to be taken out, please do. Please, you don't have to go to Sarova. Just go to your neighboring hotel and do tea for 40 bob and go home. And your spouse will be okay. If your spouse is the kind of people who like PDA, hold her or him once in a while. If he loves to be appreciated in the presence of friends, when they come, please say it, even when you don't mean it. Marriage, you have to intend to spice up your marriage. And the good thing, there's no one marriage where it is completely silent. By the time people completely shut up, they have already said what they wanted. My experience in marriage is that every other time, by the time people get to the worst, there's always a short, an easy conversation here. Na utupelekangi nje, na utufanyangi, na unifanyangi, na kama maybe the men complain of.
What if it is one-sided rape? A woman is putting so much effort. Like now, I would choose to send an SMS saying I love you to my husband, and then he's not replying. In such a case, would you say you are demoralized?
Needs to be fulfilled. So we would say that's where intentionality. Spouses need to be very intentional. And you see one thing that we need to realize in these times, these are not the times of our mothers, when spouses just stayed in marriage for the sake of. This time, the generation that we are in, we need to be very intentional. You fail to hear what your spouse is saying, you will face the consequences. And that's why you have so many people doing affairs. Maybe someone was told by like you saying, your wife keeps writing for you messages, you never respond, or you never said, you never take initiative to said. Over time, because your wife is an exposed person, she will find someone else who is saying the same. That which has been lacking at home will come from another place. And over time, we are human beings. You might find yourself tempted to get into a relationship with the other person. So we are saying these times we must be intentional as couples. We can't afford to just do like kienyeji ati ile wacha ijisukume hapana. We have to be intentional. If your spouse wants this and they are verbalizing it, and when they are even when they are not saying, ask them, how do you want me to love you? So that it is easy. I miss those marriages where there's an easy conversation of, me, I want you to do this. Me, even when it comes to matter sex, I want it this way. See the way you want. No, please tupendane vile mimi nataka. Tupendane vile wewe utakuwa satisfied na mimi nitakuwa satisfied. I think in these times we got to be intentional.
Right. And, let me talk about the bedroom issues now that you've talked about it. Because you've seen there are people complaining, mostly men, husbands, they are not satisfied at home. And that is why they are finding affairs outside. Mostly when you get married to us, like a person like me, nimeokoka sana, and maybe there is a way my husband wants to be satisfied or how he feels accommodated at home. And now this is a weakness with women. Mostly when we get kids, we pay too much attention to the children, and then we forget there is somebody that we met, the two of us, before the kids came. And sometimes we don't even take care of ourselves. I don't know whether I'm a victim to that. Sometimes you stay at home, you even forget to comb your hair, or even you're too busy, and then you find maybe the image or the picture your husband saw, it is not the same one which is in the house. So is it the reason as to why bedrooms? Is it the source of the divorces, the separations, or the bitterness that is happening in marriages? Could you say there is a contribution from the bedroom?
Okay. I know this is very delicate at times because every couple struggles in their own way. But I would honestly say that we say sex is a spice to marriage. It's a spice. It's just the same way you eat food without salt.
We should add a line.
Yes, it's a spice. Yes, a spice. So you can still do food without salt. But of course you won't enjoy it. So you need that spice. So sex means so much to every couple. And we say it is one of the ways to measure whether you're doing well. If you stay for a week, for a month, another month,
something is wrong.
Something is, because as long as there's something growing, the love is still, the impulses of the heart are still growing. There should be sex. Because every time when you're held by your spouse, in that moment of conversation that is,
I think something
automatically, it comes out naturally. So when it is not happening, something should be checked. It should be something to be checked because it is not obvious. So maybe you would say, especially the question you mentioned on mothers and men getting marriage, we say is a union. A union means is parties coming together to form one. That's why we say when people get married, it's one union. A party and a party coming together. And therefore, in this couple, we are expecting everyone to play their part. And we already say, there's just no way one would stand and say that I am going out because my spouse is concentrating on children. This spouse that you're calling a woman is a human being. And it should be an expectation of every couple that when you're bringing up a child, especially the two newborns, things will not be okay as usual. Okay, no, not okay. Things will not be as usual. So it should never separate the two of us. So if it is time for bringing up a new young, a new baby, we should all be into the baby. And that is where most people miss the mark.
Rav, you're saying responsibility is not an excuse.
No. And especially for natural things like bringing up a baby. When I'm breastfeeding and my nyonyos, you can't look at them because of course they are losing milk.
Coming out,
Yes. It is not my business, it is our business. And therefore no one should have an excuse to say that I went out because my wife was.
She's pregnant.
Yeah, she's pregnant for your child.
Breastfeeding.
She's breastfeeding your child.
I know.
So you should, one, be very understanding to understand that they are doing what naturally their body is asking for. It is very hard for a woman who is breastfeeding to be as active sexually as a woman who is not.
Yeah.
Because when you're breastfeeding, your baby takes a lot of emotions from you.
I know.
So you will not have as much as you had.
And also postpartum
Yeah, you can't. There's no man who would expect you to be the same. That would be so unfair of any man to expect that.
Yeah.
The same way, in psychology we say there are times men shut. There's a box within them, we call them the empty box. At times they just shut. They don't want to hear anything, they don't want to do anything, they're just there. Ask them what they are doing. Hakuna, ukona kitu baya. Hakuna, are you okay? Niko sawa. But they are doing nothing. At that point we also tell women, you got to understand that's a natural man.
Yeah.
If your man doesn't go to that space, they must be sick. It is natural that men, because of their growing up, the formation of a baby boy in the womb, as they grow, they are affected by a mother's hormones, and they get that space within them that we call the empty box. That nothing box, when they are in it, don't bother them.
Yeah.
And as a woman, you will not go saying, oh, he doesn't want to talk to me, maybe ametoka wapi, and those are the conversations things I hear in families. Kwani hutaki kuniongelesha umetoka wapi, ndio maana ndio.
They're so
So
cold.
when they're in that box, just allow them to be. Just allow him to do nothing. Just be there.
At what measure will you know this is a normal situation or it is just a season, they will come back? Because you do like keep quiet or something is speaking. How will you measure? How will you know that it is just a season? My man is going through a hard time or a stress from work or maybe financial problems. How will you measure it is something normal? Instead, maybe you keep quiet and then things go south.
There's nothing you would add by talking to a man who is in their nothing box. The best that you can give is that silence. So there's no nothing. There's no solution you bring to him by talking to him.
About pampering them maybe.
No,
soothing them.
when men are in their nothing space, that's why you find them wakigurumisha gari anaenda. Anaenda tu kukaa mahali na boys wengine anakaa and they just want to be in their space.
Yeah.
So at times we say there's no hurry in marriage. You know, at times we work in marriage like we want to solve things. There's nothing to solve in marriage. Just allow things to flow naturally. So if it is your wife who is in that situation of maybe bringing up a child, allow them to just do life naturally. Don't pressure your wife. That's why we are finding most women are not breastfeeding children. Until they want to stop mapema or you harassing the baby, you're also harassing this woman because that milk has been created by God to stay there even for 3 years. So when they want to do very short time simply because of you, it means you're not supporting them.
Is that a wrong entry to marriage, Reverend? Somebody who is denying a child that season of breastfeeding so that you can keep your man happy. You want to keep your figure and your breasts as firm as they were. I know. Is it, what is that?
I think it's a mistaken thing, because marriage is not built on that. We've seen people who even partying when they are not in the So marriage is not built on those fancy. The marriage is built on a commitment. That I know I married this wife, she has now given birth. Of course, you don't expect her boobs to be there as they were. So, and you know, nature can take them in the direction. They can become smaller, they can become too big. And the same, even the shapes, we say at times they can do shape 9, figure 9, at times they can do 8, depending on the structure of your wife. So marriage cannot be built on these fancy things. No, marriage is built on a commitment. I purpose to do life with you, so we will do it as it comes in all the ways. If it turns out like this, we just do it and have fun. Because how do you expect to live with someone? Like for example, I will turn 15 years. And we are expecting we might do another quite a number of the other decades. You can imagine if I'm tensed in that marriage and every other I'm looking for a mistake.
You will find
it will be very tedious. Very tedious. Just do life easy, support each other, and allow each other to be. And I think for me that is one of the things that I fight in my marriage. To just be natural. That's your personality. Just the best I can
be you.
Yeah, allow me to be me. And don't even try to change me a bit. No, because the way you were brought up, the way I was brought up is totally different. Allow me to have fun with my family members. I think this is one of the things that I find the young family struggling with. Allow me to be at home when I'm with my family members. They are my family members. And I cannot be at home with your family members. Yes, and also for you, when it is time for you to be with your mother, to your sisters, please do as much, because that is the only those are the only people who can love you as siblings. However much I will be good, I cannot be a sibling to you. I cannot be your mother. And you cannot be mine. So allow me to just do life. When it is time for us to come together and bring up children, let's bring them up. When it is time for us to go church, let's do it. And when it's time for us to support whatever way we want to support each other, just do it as easy. Otherwise, I find at times we have too much expectations for marriage where we get disappointed.
Thank you, Reb. And now the question that is coming. We've seen women shutting their life down, trying to please their men. And as you said about be you, you know, there are those things that God created you with, and no one else resembles you. You're unique, you're different the way you are. What would you tell such a woman who is trying to find herself in marriage? She got married and then she got lost. You forgot even taking care of you, self-care, loving yourself. And then you find your man is not even satisfied. You know, I don't know. There is a Kikuyu saying I don't know. I got that wants to die. You keep on I don't know. Yeah, I know. So there are women who are struggling in marriages. They've tried all they can to please their men, and they are still finding they are struggling in marriages. And then you shut your life down. There is something you're doing that was making you happy, and now you're trying to emulate your husband. I heard you say that you cannot change someone. You know, these are two beings that came together in marriage to be one. What would you tell such a woman who is trying everything that she can, and things are not working out?
I want to empathize with that kind of a woman first. I know it's not easy, and most times, especially in these times, women are losing themselves in the name of pleasing my man, so that he doesn't go out. But I will pray that they would copy me and know that you can never please someone who doesn't want to be pleased.
Hallelujah.
You cannot. So this commitment that brought us into this marriage should keep us going. So if it is not keeping you going, it is not me. Yes, it is not me who is making you go. And I think that's the first thing that women should understand. When you see your man go, it is not you. No, it is the lack of commitment that is making them
go. Stop beating yourself so hard.
Not even slap, not even pinch yourself. Because at the end of the day, this marriage is ours, both of us. You have a responsibility. Yes, I have a responsibility. And it can be very, I can see most women even struggle with their whatever identity just to please someone. I always say, just be yourself. Just be naturally yourself. If someone feels they want to go, allow them to go. Because at the end of the day, there is nothing much you can do to someone who have no commitment. And I have seen, that's why you find most women even killing other women. At times they are
committing
drinking
suicide themselves.
alcohol, just in the name of feeling frustrated because of a single man. I wish you'd know how many other men out here are admiring the same woman.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
you can't get your identity from one single man who doesn't want to be committed to loving you. So I would say don't dare to lose your identity because of someone.
Would you stay in such a marriage?
Yeah,
you still stay.
I'm a spirituality practitioner.
Yeah.
And in spirituality we say life is about meaning. Life is about meaning. If I want to see something here, I will see it. So the meaning I make of every situation helps me deal with that situation. So the meaning you make of your marriage is what keeps you in that marriage. So at times some people would go, some people would stay because of the meaning. And actually they would be okay in the same marriage because maybe their meaning, defining their marriage as, I want my children to grow with the father. I want my children to grow with this mother. I don't want to bring another woman in this house. So that meaning would make your life okay. Life is about meaning. Whatever meaning you attach to whatever situation, that is what drives you in the next step. So you can still do. Some people do.
What about a woman trend? Tunasema wako na baridi. They're so cold. They don't say anything. I think we were witnessing something on social media. You see a family with guests, and now you can see a woman, a wife of the house, just alone somewhere seated, and then you're feeling the man has taken, everything in marriage. She has no space. She has no space. She has no voice in that marriage, and she's just there, just cold. The man decides where the kids should go to school. He even comes and even dominates the clothes you're going to wear, the hairstyle you're going to make, and the life that you're going to live. And also we've seen women who are staying at home just because their husband said, you're not going to work, I'm earning enough, stay at home. What would you advise such a woman?
Absolutely. I would answer it in two ways. I really struggle, especially for such a person who would tell the other person, I want you to stay here. Of course, most of the time it's out of insecurities.
You can see your face. Can you speak about that? You're so sad.
Yeah, because I feel for that kind of a woman who's denied an opportunity to be themselves, and maybe they're just gone, unless it's a choice. There are women who decide, I want to be a homemaker, and they just be at home. Them, they are happy at home. But if this one who wants to go and then they are told, don't go because maybe the man is insecure, he might go out there and be exposed to other men. Such might happen. But I always tell women, this world has not had any powerful creature than a woman.
I know.
This world, right from the beginning of creation, when God created human beings, imagine after he has done everything else, this world will not move. And God seated in his throne, he realized this world is not moving. It requires something different. Different from everything else I've created, but of course with an image of me. That's why we are human beings together with men, but women are the drivers of this world. It's just a power, an inherent power in a woman that allows you to drive everything. And at times I pity women who were not told that when they were young girls. So that they are controlled by men, even in a relationship. A man should never control a relationship.
So this is not something which is just cropping up in marriage. It started somewhere.
It started somewhere.
Okay.
You cannot be, a woman should be the one leading every relationship. Because within us we have the capacity to. And that's why you find even a very huge, prestigious, mighty person, a man, can be won by a very young baby girl, and they just
then you wonder how.
Yes. Because when a woman realizes the power they have, not just the sexual, because at times people are misusing the sexual power of a woman, then the woman just the natural woman, you have the ability to move mountains. If we tell this to our young girls, they will come up with the energy to know or with the energy knowing that they should. You see, like, let me give you an example because you have me that question. You see, Kitambo, relationships were driven by women. A man would come, like for me, I would say, a man would come to our home every day, a year, 2, 3 years, 5 years, asking me the same thing. She goes, kwetu. You know, Kitambo men used to beg, and literally beg you to go to their home, or even to walk with them. But women, because of the way we had been nurtured, we would confidently say no. A man would date you for 10 years, and you say no to sex, and he will be there every day, 10 years.
Imagine.
Asking for the same thing.
I know.
Yes.
Then because even the one who is wondering,
yes.
Yeah.
And that's what we were saying the other day. It is us women who lost our power. That's why men came in.
So we are blaming
and that's why, yeah, it's us who've forgotten that we have the power. That's why even our Kina Shosho, if you see the age our Kina Shosho are attaining, 90s, 80s, they are super, they are okay. Because they took charge. Even in marriages where there was polygamy, it was the woman telling the man, sasa mimi nimechoka, nitakutafutia mrembo mwingine wa kusukuma hizo siku. It was the woman, and even in our African context, homes belongs to women.
And the respect was there.
100%. I think women, we're just trying to become like men, and we are missing out on the mark. We just need to be we. The moment you allow yourself to just be a natural girl, your man will have no say in your life. He'll just be there and he asks you, baby, what do you want to do? Can I support you in this? And it will just be natural. And natural women have a lot of respect to men. So, you see this katabia, unasikia wanaume wanakazia wanawake na kuwachapa. Every time focus and find out. Most of the time is lack of respect. Lack of respect from the woman. A natural woman is born supple, nice, warm, you know.
And you know there is that sixth sense that you know God, that you are in a position to change your man's thoughts
very quickly.
Like now, I remember when we were building, I know my husband was in charge of everything, but he would ask me, how would you want your home to look like? Then I'm like, we can do this, we can do that, we can do that. But he was saying, no, I think this is the right way. But eventually, he will do the way I want him. And he was telling me, you know, this is your house. Changia,
it's your house.
I can imagine. So, like you're saying, if you see a woman who is voiceless, you blame her.
Okay, not necessarily, because others out of ignorance. You know, once in marriage we say, that which you not sustain, don't do it. So if you showed your man from the beginning, he's the one who says, he started telling you when you're dating, if you don't give me, I will go, and then you just get in, and then he manipulates you like the way he wants. I don't want you to dress like this, you change. And I don't want you to do like this, you change.
And he's still adding the list.
Yes. So the day you get married, you never say anything in that house, even out of good with you, never say it, because the man will feel, already I know. So what are you trying to tell me? So these are things that every woman should know right from growing up. Take charge of your life. Of your life.
Now, what I wanted to ask you to talk about the men. You know, nowadays we are seeing it on social media that I am the legal wife. I married in church. Minimum of but there is another person who is hidden somewhere. And then, now that, you know, now I am a mother, I don't look maybe the way they're looking, you know. And then you would see the girl who is being hidden somewhere, and then you're like, oh my God, you don't even have a word. You're confused, and then you're like, what? I read a comment somewhere. Mtu akisema kwamba kuna mama wa nyumbani na kuna kwenda out na mugidi na nini na nini. Why is that happening? Why is the problem?
I feel pity for us women because it's really affecting, especially most married women. The fact that we have so many available, girls to be taken out because the aspect is availability. It's not that kitambo that was not happening, but today girls are so much available for that kind of business because of the nature of the way things have changed, the dynamics of relationships. And then I actually feel for that kind of a woman, who's, especially when you know. So when you know that it's a certain girl, certain girl, and she is minji. So compared to you, you're looking at yourself as a rose when you're wondering,
and then you're like, you have no one.
You have no space. I think what I would say, it's very dangerous to hurt your partner because it's not godly. So I would encourage that kind of a woman to just keep going on, and at the same time challenge that man that is very dangerous to hurt your woman, thinking that there are other better women out there. And one thing that has been so evident, even recently, is that you still go back to the first wife, because the second wife and the third wife are sustained by something. This first wife is sustained here because of the commitment and the children you bring up together. This second and third one and fourth one have come because of something, maybe because of your money, because you're active sexually, or because of something. But as age catches up, you realize they can't sustain you. You still go back to
speak to
the
that
first
woman.
one.
I know they are very broken, and there is one I know. She doesn't even know how to drive. And now the one who is coming has a new car from the husband. And then you're left to wonder, were we doing life together? And where did the rain start beating us? Because I was talking about the red flags, and then the man decides to be too busy. And now the results of where the business was, no one can even see it. And now you're even wondering, you didn't even allow me to drive a car. You drive us to church. And now the one who is coming, you even bought a house, a better one than the one I'm staying. How does such a woman feel?
I think there are two ways, from my view, and this is my personal view. One, if you're strong enough and you don't want to, there are women who are so reserved, they don't want to. They are okay. They will still take that as a part of life and then go on. If you're strong enough to still be in that kind of a marriage, I would say just be. Just be. Only change the meaning so that you can be still in the same marriage, but you're not hurt, you're not bitter, you're not. You're still moving on with your life. But if it feels painful to an extent that you feel like you're losing your world, you can take a break and find yourself, because at that point, you need to find yourself. There's nothing as poor, as painful as when you're in a marriage when you don't know who you are. You're not happy, and it's not fulfilling, and it might bring up, that's why you find people killing each other, because that bitterness piles, and lastly, you can't hold it anymore. So you either kill the woman or you kill the husband. So either of the two. So if you're in that kind of a situation and you feel so pained, me, I would say to that kind of a woman, just go. Just take a break. Just take a positive break. Don't go with bitterness. Just take a positive break. And also check the break, because there are other men who are not willing to release you. They might harm you or harm your children.
They have that spirit of ownership.
Just do your own evaluation, see what's the best thing that can be done. But everything that will be done, let it be to the good of you. At the end of the day, you have a life. The children
In that situation,
I know children are most affected. Of course, they are the most affected by that kind of a situation. But there comes a time when you have to fight for them as you fight for yourself. Because there are times when women have been into marriage is so painful. With time you have high blood pressure. It graduates to diabetes. The next time you have kidney issues. The next time you have either a mental issue. The next time you are either doing kidney transplant because of, diabetes and all that,
Yeah.
you leave your children. The same children you're fighting for, you leave them in pain, or they'll take care of you when you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of a situation. Don't
Yeah.
wait to that level. If you find a marriage is not satisfied, I would say take a healthy break. Go find yourself.
Go find yourself.
If you find yourself outside that marriage, I would still say, well and good, because we do not want to lose you and allow the children to lose their father and lose their mother at the same time. No. I know this is not a very a traditional way of the church doing things, but I think in the current experience that we have for marriages, we will not encourage someone to be in a situation where they might either end up in mental health issues
Or even
death. Yeah, we don't lose you for a marriage.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Talk to a woman who feels marriage is me, marriage is everything. And then you're going through such situations and you're still, I don't want to say staying, you've lost your value, you've degraded yourself to an extent, you've allowed your man to step on you. You don't have any voice, you don't have anything to say, and also you've carried this marriage into your heart so personal, and now you're staying even if things have gone somewhere. So talk to such a woman. The man has gone somewhere else, but and also you're being mistreated, and you still choose to cry rather than showing the world that you went back home or you divorced. You want to retain that picture, that I am still the one, even if the other one is there, and even if things, whatever you're hearing is not true, I am still here in this marriage. Talk to that woman.
Wow. Okay. I know that must be a tough situation to be in.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I believe in meaning making. I believe in look at the situation as it is. Look at it from the perspective of you first, because you're the most important person in every circle that you get into. So look at it from your perspective. What is it to you?
Yeah.
And there comes a time when you shake off the dust. You cannot be. You cannot live this. You know, this life. This life is a short existence that we have been granted by God. Very short. And the worst part is that we never know the exit. We have no idea. Sometimes you will be fighting for something that is not worth living for. Yeah, so there comes a time when you just analyze things and get someone to help you analyze the situation, so that you don't make a judgment out of emotions or out of bitterness. So that if it is not adding up to anything, shake yourself. You can do it even in the same marriage. I have seen women who have, maybe at the age of a certain age, like 40, someone says, I'm tired of living your life. Please let me do my life. They go back to school, they expose themselves, they get into businesses, and they enjoy life. Because this life, we have no rehearsal time. No, we have today to do this life. You can't afford to live for someone else. Because at the end, you ask yourself the question of meaning and purpose. What did I do with my own life? Did I live for my purpose? So that if you live for the other person,
that is the last question that you can ever ask. Did I live for my purpose? Am I lived for someone else?
You can't. Even a husband don't live for their purpose. You also have your own purpose. Live for it.
So there is still purpose even in marriage.
I call it singleness in marriage. Please, there's a day I said I want to do a research on Lucy, on this, that people here, that when we get married we become one. We become one union, one unit, but two different people.
That is very nice.
It's called singleness in marriage. I can never be him. He can never be me. Please allow me to explore myself.
I have my papa, you have your own papa. But we are one.
Together we combine it. You do yours, we enhance the children, we enhance the family. Kila mtu afuate yake. Because there's nowhere we are doing purpose for me and you at combined. No. It is, it could be, for me, like for us, we are both ministers. But you're not doing the same assignment.
Then the calling is different.
Totally
So
different.
you are still in the ministry.
We're in the same, we would say profession, but different.
Yeah.
Kila mtu washughulika hivi. Like there's a like in the house we make fun because I'm known to be the chaplain even in the house.
Yeah.
There are things I look at and I'm like, can allow them time to grow, because the work of a chaplain is to allow people to grow, to nurture and bring them together.
Yes.
So there are situations when I become her and it's like, oh, leo umewacha kukua chaplain. Because yes. So we have to do life together, but separately.
Yeah.
Kila mtu live your life to the fullest. And the best gift you can give to your spouse is support them to do their life to the fullest.
It's a question value.
Please do.
I don't know why I'm talking to someone. Talk to a woman who left her purpose and was swallowed by this marriage. She was doing well when she was single. But the moment she entered into marriage, she forgot herself. She forgot she had a destiny. She had a dream that she was following. She had a vision. And at the same time, as you said about purpose, we are married, but you have your own purpose. I am united in marriage, but we are different. Talk to that woman who is not fulfilling her purpose in life in the name of marriage. Yeah.
You know, purpose is a soul human being. Is a soul reason for existence. The reason why God allowed me to be who I am, to grow to this age, is an assignment that I'm supposed to do personally. And that's why even when I was in the hospital, I was doing something called Head of Life Care. When people see death, the first thing that comes to your mind, what have I done in case I don't wake up out of this bed? What have I done in my life? Because it is the sole thing of a human being. Purpose. Purpose. Because you would, why did God allow this existence to be very short?
A purpose.
Just a purpose. You're only here to do that purpose. Then you exit.
It is true.
Just that. You can't trade it with anything else. You cannot afford. You would love your man, love your children, but still don't trade it with anything. I think situations and dynamics of marriages can deter you from, but it's always good to seek counsel, seek support, so that you confidently tell your spouse, I feel I would want to venture into this because this is what I feel in my heart I want to do. So don't allow yourself to be swallowed with. Some of them maybe have already swallowed into the whole thing of marriage and they are not thinking about themselves. Remember, pale mwisho, that question is searing. What did I do with my life? There are things you've grown up saying, oh, I wish ningekuwa, wish ningefanya. Imagine they will hurt you and you die very painfully.
Just because you traded.
Don't trade your life with anything. Take care of your children. I love, because you've talked about women so much, I love the Proverbs 31 woman. I read that woman every time. I want to be that kind of a woman. You know, in Kikuyu we say, that woman, you look at her, she's an industrious woman. She's a woman who has children. She's a woman who has house help in the house to help her do what the culture has said is for women. This woman is not stuck there because you must detach yourself from culture to God. Because there's the culture intended woman and there's the God intended woman. The God intended woman is a woman who brings life wherever she is. So whatever it is that you would do to bring life to yourself, to your husband, and that's why even in that Proverbs it's talking about the children and the husband. They are all, everything you see in a family is a woman. If you get into a home, find a happy husband, it's the woman. If you find successful children, most times it's the woman. So we can't afford to trade it with anything else. Anything that would make you live your purpose. And purpose is very different because kila mtu anasikia yake. And it's not something you would go to atotoe damu.
Inject another one.
God has given us a spirit that connects with Him, that tells us, Lucy, do this, do this. This is what you were created for. Do it. The moment you hear that voice, then you can learn how to do, because your husband maybe would not want you to go out. But over time you can come up with ways of ensuring that you shake yourself
Mm.
and move out.
Yeah.
And not necessarily moving out of the house,
Mhm.
but moving out of that cocoon,
Mm.
that enslavement
Mm.
of leaving other people's
Yeah,
purposes.
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wow.
I think there is no other way of ending our show today
Mm.
than what you've just said.
Mm.
That yes, we desire to be in marriages,
Yeah.
we desire to be happy,
Mm.
but don't trade your happiness, don't trade your life in the name of marriage or in the name of love. So I think there are so many things that we've not talked about today.
Yeah,
We were to talk about money issues in the marriage. We were about to talk about the revenge that now we've seen going on in marriages. Just because your husband did something and now you want to revenge. And now we've seen that is the reason as to why marriages are breaking. I think we need to extend this show. It's so nice. I really enjoyed it. I know. So thank you so much, Ray, for coming. We're so happy. And we're sure that our viewers have really learned a lot this day, now that it is a month of love. And we can't wait to host you. I think we need to continue with this conversation because we've seen that there are so many things happening in the society. And we also want to preach that marriage is not a scam. Marriage works. Will you say such as we wind up?
Yes. Thank you very much. I want to wind up and say that it is very true. Marriage is not a scam because it is God-given. Love is not a scam, it's God-given. It's only that us human beings misuse it. And therefore, in this month of love, those who are dating, those who are in marriages, let's just work on it and just do it naturally. Don't force issues. Don't try to bring in other things from the natural ones. Just take life as easy. Allow yourself to be yourself. Allow the other person to be themselves. Complement each other. Support each other. And you do this short life and it will be okay. Thank you very much, my viewers. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Reverend Jacinta Kibudi, for coming to our show. Till we meet again, thank you so much for watching. And now we can't forget to ask you to continue subscribing and also share this video. I know it is going to be very helpful. Share with a friend and tell a friend that there are people doing something nice somewhere. So till next time, goodbye. Enjoy your time.